Agraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka. So this Bhagavatam is relished by even the liberated souls. So that is why. So Sukadeva Swami was not only transcendently powerful, but he was also very dear to the devotees of the Lord. Now one may ask, how is he very dear devotee? Not only to so many devotees who are present, during the time of Mahabharat and during that Dwapar Yuga, but who is Sukadeva Goswami? He is none other than the dear parrot of Srimati Radharani in Radha Krishna's Nitya Leela. And in Vrindavan, they have their own uh, animals or birds, special ones. Krishna has his own, Radharani has her own. Uh, like that, they have names. Each and every, when we read Govindilla Amrit of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the same author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, all those details are given. That which peacock, what is the name? There is a she monkey called Kukhati. She is the monkey of Srimati Radharani. And then there is this Sar and Sukhi. They are the parrots of Srimati Radharani. So Sukadeva Goswami has heard so much and seen so much transcendental mellows, but in spite of that, he wants to hear it again and again. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not that we finished it once and we are done. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So Nityam Bhagavat, we have to eternally and, and every time we read, we get Navarasa, depending on our maturity. As we mature, the same verses are there, the same purport of Srila Prabhupada is there, but some deeper meanings are revealed in our hearts. Uh, so that is the reason why Sukadeva Goswami, although so transcendently powerful, he is very dear to the Lord. Because he is dear to Radharani, he is very dear to Krishna. Thus he studied this great narration of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Sutta Goswami, he began this transcendental narration, he says, of Lord Sri Krishna and topics of the birth, activities and deliverance of King Parikshit. So Srimad Bhagavatam in the first canto starts with many topics, and one of the topics is now he has reached this point where Sukadeva Goswami, or later on Sutta Goswami, is speaking and narrating this part about the birth of Krishna, about the activities of Krishna, and about the deliverance of King Parikshit. So there is a connection here as we further understand this chapter. So when the respective warriors of both the camps, when Mahabharat finished, a lot of people were killed, a lot of soldiers were killed, a lot of kings were killed. Uh, and then Duryodhan was also killed by Bhima, striking him on his spine or on his janga. That's how Krishna directed him because there was a weakness. Do you know why? Why Duryodhan's body was solid like Vajra. He could not be killed. Anywhere any weapon would strike, it would bounce off. But why the thighs? Why the thighs were weak? Because when he was a child, when Gandhari decided, because Dhritarashtra was blind and she was a Pativrata Nari, she was a very chaste wife. So she said that if my husband cannot see, I will also put a black, what do you call, a cloth, a ribbon, and I will also not see anything. She was so chaste, Gandhari. But one time, what happened that Duryodhan, he was very small. So mother wanted to protect him, that you will grow nice and strong. So why don't you do one thing? Once I will open my ribbon. Only once I will do that. And you come completely naked in front of me. So that when I glance on you, your whole body will become Vajra. But Duryodhan did not go completely naked. He covered his thighs, his groin area. He wore a small, gamcha or some shorts, some kind of a undergarment. And when Mother Gandhari opened her eyes, the entire body became Vajra, but that part remained weak. So Krishna in Mahabharata tells Bhima, whatever you're doing is useless. You're hitting him on the chest, you're hitting him on the arms, you're hitting him on the stomach, you're hitting him on his head. Nothing is going to So he indicated Krishna is the biggest cheater. Nobody can cheat like Krishna. He's the biggest thief. Uh, Bilvamangal Thakur has written a very nice bhajan, Chor Ashtakam. Vraje prasiddha navnita choram gopangana nam dukkula choram. Aneka janmarjit papa choram gop choragraganyam purusham namami choragraganyam purusham namami. So nobody can cheat Krishna. He is the number one cheater, transcendental cheater. Similarly, Krishna uses when and because his devotees are very dear. That is why sometimes he lies and cheats. So that is why he told Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, you declare Prati Janati Kaunteya Namne Vrittya Pranashyati. Because if I say it, why go via? Supposing if I have to say something, I'm saying to the audience directly, but why will I say that, Prabhuji, you say what I just said? Huh? Not necessary, no, but it was necessary because Krishna sometimes breaks his promise. So if he says directly that my devotees will not perish, then some people will not have faith that he's a liar. Sometimes he lies. So what is the guarantee? So he says, Arjun, you declare it. You Ghoshna. Prati janati kaunteya name bhaktya pranashyati. You declare that my devotee will never perish. So when a devotee declares something, then one who is fully surrendered to Krishna, then Krishna must listen to him. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his introductory song of Sharanagati, he says, Sharanga Sharanagati hoive ja, tar prarthna sune Vrajendra Kumar. Uh, when one is fully surrendered with the six limbs of surrender. Sharanagati means everybody has some kind of surrender or they have taken Sharan, whether one is a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, whatever. Some faith is there and they have surrendered to their respective lordships, right? But our definition of surrender is called Sharanagati. What does that mean? If we break it, Sandhi Vichet, Sharan plus Agati. Agati means no movement. Uh, Not that Agati that fall down. So if I take surrender of Krishna, I will fall down. No, no, no. The proper meaning of the word Agati, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying no movement. Gati means moving, and Agati means no moving, which is the bhav that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. Ashlisha pada ratam pinashtumam adarsanam marma hatam karotva yatha tatha va vidato lampato mat prananam. Whether you kindly hug me, accept me, or whether you kick me. You are my Lord and Master, birth after birth after birth. That is Sharanagati. Whether there are good times, bad times, I am not leaving your lotus feet. I am going to be stuck like the Himalaya mountain. Can a mountain like Himalaya be moved? No matter millions of people can push it. So similarly, uh, that kind of surrender is called Sharanagati. And Sharanagati has got 6 branches. What are those 6 branches? Which is explained in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, which Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has taken in his bhajan. That is why we should study Vaishnava bhajans. It is the essence and the summum bonum of all Vedic literature, especially the king of Vedic literature is Srimad Bhagavatam. The essence of the commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is Srimad Bhagavatam. The ultimate essence is Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's saying the 6 branches are humility, dainya. Second, Atmanivedan, giving everything to Krishna. Whatever we have, Manasa Deha Geha Jo Kichumor, Arpilutu Apade Nanda Kishore. Third, Dainya Atmanivedan, Gopri. Krishna is my Gopta. He is my supplier of roti kapda makan. Not my degree, not my money, not my job. A Vaishnava is always thinking, no matter how much money I have, it is the mercy of Krishna. He is putting food on my table. He is taking care of us. That is Gopta. Uh, then, the Dainya Atma Nivan Gopti were Avashya Rakshi me Krishna Vishwas Paran. One is to have full faith, like Prahlad Maharaj, Krishna will certainly protect me. Then the 5th one, uh, Bhakti Anukul Karya Kareju Svikar. Whatever is conducive to bhakti, we must accept. And the last one, Bhakti Pratikul Bhav Varjan Angikar. Whatever is not conducive to bhakti, we must reject. So then he says in that bhajan, Sharanga Sharanagati Hoive Jar Tar Pratna Sune Vrajendra Kumar. One who has this full 6 branches of surrender or Sharanagati, then Vrajendra Kumar, the son of Nanda Maharaj, must listen to that devotee. So, when Arjun, Krishna says, you declare, Prati Janati Kaunteya Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, then Krishna must listen to that sentence because Arjun has declared it. When His Divine Krishna Prabhupada said, how many minimum rounds we must chant? Wrong. Minimum 16 good rounds. And you follow the four regulative principles, you will go home back to Godhead. Now, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada had this rule, minimum 64 good rounds. But in the beginning, when the devotees in New York, Prabhupada said to the first batch, tomorrow tomorrow is Janmashtami, you all will get initiated. You will follow the four regulative principles very strictly and chant minimum 64 good rounds. And then at that time, Professor Howard Wheeler of the Ohio State University, who later on became Hayagriva Prabhu and Hayagriva Swami, he said, no way, Swamiji, not possible. And then he started counting. Each round takes us about in 9 to 10 minutes, Swamiji, it's not possible. Uh, and it will take us 12 to 13 hours to chant 16 4 rounds. That's what they argued. So Prabhupada said, all right, 32 minimum good rounds. So there also there was objection. Swamiji, 6 7 hours a day, how we can do that? Then Prabhupada said, okay, minimum 16 good rounds, follow the four regulative principles, and you will go home back to Godhead in this lifetime. So the question is that his Guru Maharaj said 64, Prabhupada changed the rules, but they have the authority to do that. They have the authority to do that because they are so near. And he definitely must have, in his meditation, taken permission from his Guru Maharaj that these boys and girls in the Western, they have no idea about Krishna. Please be kind upon them and accept them. So they have agreed to chant minimum 16 good rounds. So, like this, that they can change the rules sometimes according to time, place, and circumstances. But whatever they do, wherever Prabhupada went, when they was opening a new temple, he would pray to the deities, my dear Krishna, these boys and girls, they don't know really the whole devotional process. But please accept their seva. So Krishna must accept their seva. Everything previously, there is new Jagannath Puri in San Francisco, Berkeley. And there they started the seva of Lord Jagannath uh, by they did not have ghee lamps or ghee candles. No, according to our Vedic culture, candles is not a good idea to do arti. But according to time, place, and circumstances, Prabhupada allowed that. And Krishna, every time, whenever he opened a new temple, he would pray to Krishna. So because he is Shadanga Sharanagat, then his prayer will be heard. Sometimes we complain that, oh, I have been chanting for so many years, I've been coming to the temple for so many years, but I have certain desires Krishna is not fulfilling. That complaint is there in many devotees. But then we have to counter question ourselves. Are we Sharanga Sharanagati? Do we have the full 6 branches of Sharanagati? Then why shall Krishna listen to our prayers? So we should reconcile like that. So, like this, the topics of Krishna, birth, activities, and deliverance of Parikshit Maharaj is discussed. So, and the Kauravas and the Pandavas were killed, and Duryodhan was also killed by Bhimsen. And then later on, Ashwadhama, who was on the side of Duryodhan, he thought that he's going to do a great service to Duryodhan, and at night, illegally, uh, Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, it is Dharma Yuddha. In Dharma Yuddha, it is not like the Yuddha that they do nowadays, where they cheat, they sneak in the dark. Once it's daytime, then the shank blows, then they fight. In the evening, shank blows again, finish at sunset. Then they even go and meet each other in their camps, like their friends or their relatives, right? So that is Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Devi ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Gaudiya Guruvar ki jai. So Ashwadhama, he did not follow the proper code of dharma. He went into the camp where the 5 sons of Draupadi were sleeping, little boys, and he mercilessly killed them, cut their throats. He slashed. Prabhu, can you ask that parent? Thank you. Sorry, where was I? Ah, So he illegally and with adharma, he killed those innocent children. They were not even warriors, the sons of Draupadi. So then they were beheaded, and Draupadi was crying so much, full of tears. And what did Arjun say? Arjun said that I will present the head of Ashwadhama, and then I will wipe your tears. I will wipe your tears. I'll make a vow. uh, and then you will be pacified. You will then take a bath and you will stand on the cut head of Ashwadhama. I will present you the head of Ashwadhama. Uh, then, with furious weapons, Arjun was trained by Dronacharya. He is the son of Indra, and not only that, he is the devotee of Krishna, protected by Krishna. So, he, with ferocious weapons, he chased Ashwadhama in his chariot. And Ashwadhama's horses became so tired that he somehow now realized that that Arjun is going to catch up with me and he will certainly kill me. So then at that time, Ashwadhama was given this benediction that he had this Brahmastra. Now this Brahmastra, as Prabhupada describes here, is a nuclear weapon. Nowadays these nuclear weapons don't even come close to what they used to have, that Lord Ramachandra used to use, or even Ravan used at that time, when they were based on mantra, not like with any, they were subtle. Prabhupada explains that. So when Ashwatthama saw this, the Brahmastra, he immediately invoked his Brahmastra to save his life. Thereupon, what happened? That there was a huge glaring light effulgence. Those who have heard or even seen a video of bombing of Hiroshima, when the first bomb, atomic bomb, America bombed uh, Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. They threw those bombs, and and at that time, what happens is, because of the nuclear or the atom bomb, the huge explosion takes place. There's a lot of energy generated, and due to that, there is a lot of effulgence or a lot of heat and light generated. So here he's saying, Arjun is saying that you descend as the incarnation to remove the burden of the world. What is that verse in the Bhagavad Gita? Yada yada hi dharmasya jnanir bhavati bharata. He reminds Krishna that that is why you come. And you come for the benefit of it. Paritranayam sadhunam vinashati duskritam. So it is not for the purpose of vinashati duskritam that he really comes. That is not his primary reason. His maya is sufficient. Simply maya can just simply click like this, and millions of Rakshasas can be destroyed like that. But Krishna personally comes because the main reason is paritranam sadhana, to give his association. Like Lord Ramachandra, the whole, many leelas have interwoven leelas. One particular leela is not sufficient, but there are many leelas joined in one. If Lord Ramachandra had not taken, if Kaikai mother had not given curse, I mean, requested uh, King Dashrath the boons that she will take, then Lord Ramachandra would have not gone to the forest. If he had not gone to the forest, then how could he have given his association to many devotees who are waiting for thousands and thousands of years, like Shabri as an example, right? She was very young when she joined her Gurudev's ashram, Matang Muni. And then Matang Muni was so pleased with Shabri's service that he said, one day you'll be blessed personally, Lord Rama will come. And he will come to meet you right outside this ashram. Everybody else disappeared. Gurudev went, ashram vasis left, but she was still there, very old. And every day used to clean the bath. And one day while she was cleaning, suddenly she saw the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra. So there are so many interwoven leelas. Sometimes people, they say that Kaikai was bad. No, according to the Rasik Vaishnavas, she is amazing. She took that role of being a very bad mother, because in the conversation between Lord Ram and Kaikai, Lord Rama says, "Mother, will you do this for me? Will you?" She had forgotten about those boons. So through mantra, she was reminded. And will you do this, mother? I'll be very grateful if you do this for me. Uh, so then she agrees to do that. Sometimes some devotees take the bad task. Like for example, one should not think when Lord Brahma got enamored by Maya and ran after his own daughter. Prabhupada has written in that purport, in that prasanga, that no, it is just a leela to show us that how powerful Maya is, that we should be very careful. Once our daughters grow up, fathers should be very careful. Our association of women, especially devotees, we call them Mataji, except our wife. Why? Because Ma or mother has the highest respect. So no other bad thoughts will come in our mind. That is the whole reason why our Vedic system has everybody, every lady, even a young girl, we address her as Mataji. That is the reason. Ah. So like this, we find in the Vedic culture, it's so amazing. So what was I saying? No, Mataji I know, but what is the main point? Eh? Ramchandra Bhagwan. So that is the reason why he comes, the lordships come for the pleasure of their devotees. Therefore, Lord Ram's name, when King Dashrath asked Vasishtha Muni, what in the Namkaran Sanskaram, that what will be the name of my firstborn child? So he said, his name will be Ram. What does Ram mean? One who will give pleasure to everyone. Especially he will give pleasure to all his devotees. Uh, so like this we find that he comes, Arjuna is praying. Uh, and especially those who are your exclusive devotees, he is constantly who are in rapt meditation of you. So you come to give them your benediction, your prayers. So this effulgence, where is it coming from? Oh Krishna, please tell me. Arjun surrenders again here. Krishna, I am perplexed. This huge effulgence in the sky with full of heat and light. It seems to be very destructive, and I think I will be destroyed. Please help me. Pahimam, Pahimam. I surrender to you, O Krishna. So Professor Prabhupada, in the very short purport, he says that anything that is presented to Krishna or when we make a request, it should be in the form of a nice prayer. Uh, Prayers will win the heart of Krishna. And if you see each and every acharya, uh, everybody has composed some prayer. Like even our Srila Prabhupada, he composed two poems. Actually, three poems. Does anyone know which poems? Margine Bhagavad. Then that other poem, when he was in Jaldut, where there are two poems he composed. And then Bodo Kripa Gori. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. And there's a third poem he composed in English on the 1935, on the Vyas Puja day of his Guru Maharaj Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Adore, adore ye all the happy day, sweeter than heaven, brighter than May. When he appeared in Puri, the holy place, my Lord and Master, his divine grace. Like that he composed in English. In that same composition, he says, absolute is sentient, thou hast proved. Impersonal calamity, thou hast moved. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was a very ardent opposer of Mayavadis. In the last line of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra, Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine. He removes the obstacles and cuts to pieces all those arguments that are presented by Mayavadis. Similarly, our Prabhupada following in his footsteps. Anytime any Mayavadi issue came, immediately he would cut it to pieces based on Shastric evidence, based on the Vaishnava commentaries. He would cut it. Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine. When a Mayavadi used to walk, a sannyasi, and he saw Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he would change the path. And sometimes, when a Mayavadi is caught, he will shake him has no form. Why you think Krishna has no form? He would shake him. They would shiver when they would see Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So he wrote these two lines in that entire, when you have time, you can go through the entire poetry. That absolute is sentient. Absolute means Sri Krishna, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Is sentient means he is a person. Like we are sentient. We have Chetna. Sentient in English means Chetna. Consciousness, living person. Chetna. So absolute. Krishna is the absolute truth. Satyam Paramdev. He is conscious. He is Chetna. He is a person. That's why Srila Prabhupada, I've read many, many books before coming to ISKCON from different philosophers. And mostly in English. Actually, all in English. And never ever I had come across these words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the first time I heard these words when I read Srila Prabhupada's books. So the Lord is a person. Like you are a person, I am a person. We are all persons. So is the Supreme Lord, is a person. The description is given by those devotees who have taken his darshan. Venur Kanantam Arvindam Dalayataksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Visesha Shobham Govindavadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. Aloka Chandra Lasada Vanmalya Vamsi Ratnangada Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam Shyamam Tribanga Lalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindavadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. So all his activities, all his form is described so nicely for those devotees who have actually seen Krishna. He is a person. So that is very important. That person. Some Mayavadi will come and try to teach you and say, you know what? You are God. You are God. You are God. You are all God. That sounds so good. But if a Vaishnava says, you are going to be eternally servant here also, and even when you reach in the spiritual world, that is not so palatable to hear. That is why there are more followers of Mayavadis. They like that. No, who does not like some flattery? Who doesn't like the illusion? Everybody loves illusion. What is movies? We are seeing the movie on the screen and we are crying, we are laughing. We are laughing at illusion. It is in reality, it's not that. So that is dhamna svena sada nirastakum satyam param dhimai. Due to the interactions of the three modes of material nature, this illusion is created. That is Maya. So like this, we find Prabhupada said that we must pray. Uh, Before we want something from Krishna, offer some stuti. That is the whole idea. Just don't say, Krishna, give me this. He's not our order supplier. One time, Srila Prabhupada was in Crossmaidan, Mumbai. And one our Indian man only in Bombay. He stood up and challenged Prabhupada. Swami ji, agar Bhagwan hai to Bhagwan dikhaiye. Right in front of 10,000 people. If there is God, show me God. And then Prabhupada, in a very thunderous voice, said that Krishna तुम्हारे बाप का नौकर नहीं है जो बंसी बजाते बजाते तुम्हारे सामने खड़ा हो जाएगा. पहले योग्यता प्राप्त करो. Now you sit down, बैठ जाओ. So the thing is that stutis have to be offered. Even when we approach a Vaishnava, few sweet words should be offered. If we want something, we have to do that. All our acharyas have wonderful poems. Bhakti Thakur ji, full of Gitavali, Sharanagati, Kalyan Kalpartaru, Sri Narottam Das Thakur, all these wonderful prayers in Pratna, Prem Bhakti Chandrika. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote so many wonderful poems. All of them are poets. That is why in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second line, Tene Brahma Adi Kavai. Brahmaji's address, Vasudev addresses Brahmaji as Adi Kavi, the first poet. Prabhupada has wonderfully said that Lord Brahma is our first poet in our line. So that is so important. Huh? That is the standard procedure. Srila Prabhupada says that. So Arjun, though an intimate friend of Krishna, is observing the method that is the proper method of learning and offering prayers, how our acharyas have offered. So Ashwadhama, finally, just winding up this, Ashwadhama has thrown hymns, Prabhupada says. Hymns means mantras. He had translated this Srimad Bhagavatam with the very old English. Hymns. So those are hymns also. When they pray, hymns means prayers. He didn't use the word mantras, but hymns means he used mantras. So Ashwadhama touched water and then he touched the Brahmastra on his forehead and started chanting mantras. And that's how the Brahmastra got activated. Just like a nuclear weapon, who has the best nuclear weapons in the world? Russia and USA. And if they have to activate it, who activates it? The president. They have a briefcase. And whenever there is wartime, the special briefcase is opened and they have the nuclear buttons to activate it. So they activate it by pressing electronic buttons. But our Vedic culture is such, Prabhupada is saying, that just by mantras, those nuclear weapons were activated. Simply by saying some mantras, touching some water, doing some achamanam. So Ashwadhama had activated the Brahmastra, which is a very, very powerful nuclear weapon. And he does not know now how to retract it. So all weapons that are activated by mantras, they not only do their job, but then they come back. Like when Krishna releases Sudarshan Chakra, it is not that like, in a gun there is a bullet. Once you release the bullet is gone, finished. That weapon comes back, it retrieves. There is a mantra to release the weapon, and there is a mantra to retract the weapon. Now, Ashwadhama did not know how to retract this nuclear weapon. By the way, just as a side note, I'm sure there's some here devotees who have studied science. We had studied this at a very preliminary level in school. What is the structure of the atom? There is nucleus, neutron, proton, and electron. Now, the protons and electrons, they go at a very, very high speed. They are rotating, extremely high speed. And in the nucleus resides Paramatma. That is the verse is there in the Brahma Samhita. Andan, Paramanu Charantarastha. In every atom, Krishna, who is present in our heart, is Paramatma. The expansion of Sirodakshai Vishnu is present in every atom. And that is the reason why the protons and electrons get that energy to rotate. Now, when the modern Rakshasas, they break that orbit of those electrons and protons that are revolving, then at that time, the Lord feels that he's being pushed out of his home of the atom. So similarly, we can think that if some gunda comes into our home and tries to push us and take our home, we will become aggressive, right? Whatever means we have, we will try to defend and stop that hooligan, all right, that who is going to take our home. So similarly, the Lord lives in a lot of anger, and that explosion is created because the Lord's anger in the nuclear atom bomb or the nuclear explosion is because Paramatma leaves that atom with a lot of unhappiness due to him being unhappy. And that is not the natural state. Just like our natural state is, we are very nicely situated in our own home, but if some aggressor comes and says that now you must leave, or pushes us out, then how we will feel? Similarly, when that happens, of course the Lord can stop it, but he does not. But he is not happy, and he leaves. And that's why this huge nuclear explosion, which can destroy many countries in one explosion, the weapons are like that nowadays. So, like this, in this particular chapter, in this particular 27th verse, he does not know how to retract the Brahmastra. And in a similar way, in the modern nuclear weapon, Prabhupada is saying the atomic energy works wholly on a gross level. So, there are components inside the nuclear bomb, like uranium, enriched uranium, etc. But for these nuclear weapons, they are subtle. Simply by mantras, they are activated. And that's how they work. So this is the summum bonum of the 27th verse. It creates an intolerable heat similar to the atomic radiation. So Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande, Gaur Premanande, Hare Krishna. Oh, okay, we can take. Oh, I thought there was Arti. Okay. So Prabhuji has uh, requested if anybody has any questions, one or two questions. Please, is there an extra mic for the listeners online? So what's your question? Why he allowed it? Okay, very nice question. So you can shut that mic. I think it is causing unbalanced cable or weak cable. It's loose inside. So that's a good question. Uh, did everybody hear the question properly? That Brahmastra is created for good and bad. But nowadays in the modern world, the nuclear weapons or the weapons are only created for destruction. There is no good. So why does the Supreme Lord allow that? So to that, we can also kind of have a parallel question to understand your question. So the same question many people ask, that why does Lord allow bad things in this world? Hmm? Somebody is being killed. Somebody is the thieves steal their possession. The answer is that it is karma. And please try to understand. People who are talking in the back, my humble request, please do not talk. Mothers, please control your children. This child is roaming alone. So it's karma. Somebody's karma is such because of his past, not only this lifetime but many lifetimes, it accumulates. What we call in America is called snowballing. When a small snowball forms in the top of the mountain, and as it keeps falling, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. So since time immemorial, anadikal, we are actually accumulating a lot of bad karma, sinful activities that we have accumulated, that you and I, we don't know what we have done. But the laws of the Supreme Lord are very perfect. They're not like this law that we find in the material world, that if somebody kills 1,000 people, murders them, but what will the Supreme Court give him? Only one punishment, hang him to death. But is that the perfect punishment? No. But the Lord is perfect and his punishments are perfect. So then what happens? That the laws of karma are such that we have to pay for every misdeed that we have done, for every paap we have done, somehow or the other, and it will continue until it becomes zero, until those expire. Those paap, the sins expire. So it will continue. Now somebody needs to be punished, and somebody's karma is that he will act as the one who will give punishment. Okay, so suppose as an example, there is somebody who gets robbed. Okay, because he deserves to be robbed from the highest perspective because of his past karma, he gets robbed. And the person robbing, the thief, uh, his intensity is so much that because of his past karma, I want to continue my bad habits of stealing. So those whose intensity is very high amongst the thieves, small thief will want to pickpocket. A bigger thief's intensity is what? I want to rob not the small 500, 2,000 rupees in somebody's wallet. I want to rob the whole bank. And because his intensity is so great, Paramatma within his heart sanctions it. Okay, fine. These corporate people, they have cheated many people. So what do you do now? We will make you the perfect match. Like there are so many websites that make the perfect match, so-called perfect match of what do you call Viva, marriage. So similarly, in the laws of karma, there is perfect matching done depending on the karma of each individual. So what happens? That particular thief who is so intently, I know I want to steal lakhs and crores of rupees, and it is so intense in the heart that Paramatma has to notice it. Okay, fine. Uh, I will give you intelligence how to loot that big bank, which is in the main bazaar. See what time you observe for a few days, what time the clerk is coming, when that first person is entering in there. Like that, he observes. And like Krishna only gives him the intelligence. How to, if there is a residence upstairs, it is empty for rent, you go ahead and rent that apartment, and then in the middle of the night, dig a big hole, go inside, break open the tijori, and take all the money. So this is also sanctioned by the Supreme Lord. Try to follow this. It's very important because this question has come many, many times. And we sometimes, if the clarity is not there, then we will blame the Lord. We will become agnostic, meaning we will become atheistic. Because so many people say, why good people are suffering? What kind of a Bhagavan it is that will make good people suffer? But good people from our perspective, we don't know what that person did in his last lifetimes, many, many lifetimes. So Krishna's laws are very perfect. So he makes that match. So now coming to your question, you can add 2 plus 2 equals 4, because mass karma of many countries, they like even now there are tsunamis attacking many countries. So Prabhupada said it is mass karma. When sometimes so many people are dying of hunger in Africa and many places where there is no food or scarcity of food, many people are dying all to a lot, In COVID, so many people died. That is mass karma. You understand the word mass karma? Cumulative, so many. It incurs so much. So only some pious people are saved. Or some people's karma or piety is so much more piety that it is not time for them yet to suffer and leave. So that match is being made by Krishna through Maya. She is the agent that she will serve Krishna. Icha anurupavi chacheshtate sa govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So she acts exactly as Krishna directs her. And then rewards or awards or punishes according to the karma. Now, the question may arise, I'll add a little bit more. How can we stop this cycle? And that cycle can be stopped of karma, good or bad. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, uh, what does he say? Nistray bhava guna arjuna. Please go beyond the three modes of material nature. So when we go beyond the three modes of material nature, at that time, we will qualify ourselves from Satogun to Shuddha Sattvam. Shuddha Sattvam means transcendental platform. And when we reach that platform, Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. All karmas are destroyed, good and bad, pious and impious, pap and punya, they are destroyed. Sarva Dharman Paritejya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshasyami Masacha. So I will take, so anybody who has taken to bhakti, they can put a full stop. They can put a full stop to their karma. uh, Pap karma or punya karma, and that will transport us to the highest platform, which is the spiritual world. So otherwise it's impossible to stop the snowball of karma. It will continue. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Does that answer your question or not yet? And you can be honest. If you're not, please, I will try my best. Very good question. I understand. Yes. So his question is, and I will kind of throw more light on his question, that why do devotees suffer? Why do devotees suffer? Correct? Uh, they have taken to Krishna consciousness. Some say this devotee has chanted 20 years, 30 years. Why are they suffering? So to that, Prabhupada gives the answer very nicely. Okay, please pay attention. Uh, because these questions are arising in everybody's minds, and unless and until they are not clear, and you are asking good questions like Sutta Goswami. Sutta Goswami, uh, he appreciates that you are asking questions for the benefit of all. So questions should be asked in such a way that it will be benefiting all, not some nonsense question that is wasting the time of the speaker and the wasting the time of the audience. So good question. Why do devotees suffer? So Srila Prabhupada said one day the same question appeared in front of him. And Srila Prabhupada said that, okay, stand up. And at that time, Prabhupada, the fan was going on at full speed wherever they were sitting in that room. So he said, now you stand up. There is the switch. Shut the fan off. So that devotee stood up. The one who asked the question just like you, why devotees suffer? So Prabhupada said, stand up, shut off the switch. And then he shuts the switch off. Then he says, look at the fan, what is happening? So what is the answer? Everybody knows the answer. What is happening when you cut the switch off on a fast moving fan? Slowly, it will come to a full stop. But it is still going on slowly. So he says, when we take to Krishna consciousness, until we come to the pure platform, it is like that fan, our past karma will still act on us. But Krishna is so kind that when we take to devotional service, even in our preliminary stage, he will definitely cut our karma quickly. So, but it is not that when you shut the switch, when the fan is rotating, it will come to a full stop. No. It rotates, and then comes to a full stop. So that's the answer that Prabhupada. Now, one more component to this conversation with Srila Prabhupada and that devotee. So Prabhupada said that yes, when taking devotional service, all your past karma will be deleted. But if you are not on a pure platform, you know where the switch is. You didn't get it. You know where the switch is. Meaning, when again you know where the switch is, you turn it on, again the reactions of karma will start. Ah, so Prabhupada said that. So we have to be very careful. Once we take to devotional service, be serious. It will, all these things will happen. But what is that verse in Brahma Samhita? Here is our expert on Brahma Samhita. Yat Sambrita Kala Chakro. Uh, Even I forgot the lesson. But the essence is that uh, Raja Samasta Sura Murti Asesa Teja. It's या चक्षुरेश सविता सकल गृहाणाम यस्य यस्य yasya agya. The word important word is agya. So even the planets, sometimes we have certain according to karma, the planets are awarding us such difficulties. Some dasha, Shani dasha, Mangal dasha, that dasha is there. Even when we take to devotional service, it's not that it will go away. But yasya agya. But the king of the planets is the Surya Dev. And when Surya Dev is pleased, all other planets must be pleased. Because he's the king. If the king says do this, then the rest of the planets have to follow. So one who has taken to pure devotional service, then all those planets or the grahas, then they will be favorable to that devotee. Or they will at least not create any impediments. So devotional service is very powerful. But until and unless we come to that point of surrender, then little bit of some karmic reactions that includes death, akal mrityu, uh, all these things. That's why when we chant those mantras, when we take the Charnamrit, akal mrityu haranam, sarva vyadhi vinashanam, Vishnu padadakam pitva sirsa dharyamiham. So my dear Lord, I'm taking your Charnamrit. Please vanquish any akal mrityu, accidental death or just sudden death. Sarva vyadhi vinashanam. Take away all my diseases. Vishnu padadakam pitva. I take the the Charnamrit washed, uh, that has washed the lotus feet of Krishna. Sirsa dharyamiham. And then I uh, uh, put that Charnamrit on my head. So this is the science. It's a science. Very, very, nobody can answer this. And if you give me a 2 extra minutes, I will mention one personal experience. In Canada, one time when I just come from US, I've always been a business person. Of course, I'm retired for the last 7 8 years. Just my only business is getting the Association of Vaishnavas. So I had taken a very small job at that time, going to the different labs where to collect the blood samples. So the doctors would collect those samples, put it in a fridge, and we have this big lab that would test those samples and then give back the report for their patients. So my job was to go and collect those samples, and there was one Canadian white gentleman who was also a very rich person, but he was doing this for his time pass to keep himself busy. So he was driving, and then I was under his training. So one time he took me to one hospital because in the hospital we have samples that we have to collect and take it to the main lab. So he said when he parked the car, he told me, and our my training was like 8 hours a day for the whole week. How to go to the different doctors or the hospitals and collect the blood samples. So he was the most experienced in that company. So he was training me, and during our driving, it took sometimes hour and a half to go from one point to another point. So we always used to have some conversation. So in my conversation, I always try to bring Krishna in the center, no matter. And he was an atheist, born in a Christian family. So I was bringing this conversation. So during that conversation, he kind of, out of respect, didn't say much. He says, "I don't believe in God." So I said, "Why?" "I just don't. So many experiences I see. Same thing he said. So many good people, they are suffering. So what kind of a God there is? He said the same thing to me, what I mentioned. Then when we parked in the parking lot in the back of the hospital, there is a morgue, uh, Shavalay, that so where the dead bodies are stored. So at that time, and there in US and Canada and Europe, they have a system that they do not allow the bodies to be taken home. from the hospital, or even when the person dies at home, the body is taken to the morgue. You cannot keep it in the house, or like here we keep for a few hours and then we take them to the smashan, right, for cremating. But no, you don't do that. So, anyways, to make a long story short, uh, he showed me, you see that little van? It was a hearse van. Hearse van is where they bring in the dead bodies after they die. And you see that little box? So yeah, the driver who was bringing that van, there was like a little shoe box. You know, when you go to the buy shoes, maybe a bigger shoe box size. You know what's inside that? I said, no, tell me. That's a baby that was just born, and that baby died. Where is your God? He asked me that question. Where is your God? Where is God? So then we had many hours throughout the whole week. I explained the law of karma. I said even the Americans and the Canadians now they have accepted the word karma in their normal vocabulary. Now it is accepted, karma. So what is karma? You guys say bad karma, good karma. What is bad karma, good karma? Do you understand what that is? So then I explained some things about the Bhagavad Gita. I explained what karma is, what is piety, impiety, pap, punya, and what is bhakti. So somehow or the other, I felt that he was convinced. So that little child who had just taken birth had died. Apparently, he had not done any karma after birth, but previous birth. And that is why our Sanatan Dharma has answers to all these questions that Christianity cannot answer, Islam cannot answer, no major religion in the world cannot answer. Only our Sanatan Dharma has all these answers, and they are there in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's only a matter of us hearing and showing some interest and reading. And when we do that, then we will understand this science. Why? Why is it that somebody is born, little baby is born with a silver spoon in his mouth or a golden spoon? Uh, all the toys, big mansion, big villa, 20 servants. Once he cries a little, five people will come with some different toys. Uh, but one is born on the footpath, no food to eat. Even mother is so malnourished that she doesn't get any milk in her chest. So much. So, what is the reason? Is God bad? No, He is not. Huh? According to us, it is our fault that we choose our minded independence in the wrong way, where He will not interfere. Why He will not interfere? Because Krishna in the Bhagavatam it says He is Swarat in the first verse. Look up the meaning. Swarat means He is fully independent. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mama Yamsa Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatan. We are His Ansha. So now, if we are His Ansha, that means we have all His qualities, but in a very, very minute form. So similarly, imagine, just to give an example, this shawl. Let's say if the shawl is fully made of wool, and if I take one small thread out of it, what is the quality of this thread? Loudly, please. It's wool. It is not. It is not silk. It is not mixed. If this is pure wool, this shawl, this is also pure wool. Similarly, Krishna, we are his part and parcels. He's fully independent, and because we are his part and parcels, we have got this minute independence. So we can use it in a good way, like all of you have come to this temple, spent your Sunday morning or afternoon here, or you could have chosen to do so many activities that most people in this world they are blindly doing. So this is the use of minute independence. That minute independence usage will take us back to Vaikuntha. That is what, and we can only use it properly if we follow the process. So the best process in Kali Yuga is chanting Hare Krishna. So that is the do. When we are sick, the doctor gives us prescription or tells us, advises, do's and don'ts. Supposing if somebody has bad diarrhea, doctor will say, I will give you this strong medicine, you take it. But what is not to be done? Don't eat pakoda immersed in ghee. Don't eat all these heavy foodstuffs. Do's and don'ts. So what is the don'ts? Our spiritual doctor is his divine graces. You find them all on that altar. So our spiritual doctors have said The do's is chant the holy names of Krishna, associate with the Vaishnavas. This is actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that. Read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, like that. Archa Vigraha. Every home should do some puja. And whenever you get time, you have to go to the tirthas. These five things, if we do nicely, then our spiritual advancement is guaranteed. And what is the don'ts? No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. It's not that Prabhupada got some dream. Don't do this. It is in the Shastra, Mahabharata. We are talking about Mahabharata right now. Striyam dutam panam shunam yatra dharma chaturvida. Striyam means associating out of wedding, out of marriage with either boy or girl, out of marriage, having relationship. Striyam, dutam, gambling. Panam, panam means intoxication. And shunam means meat eating. Yatra, these, adharma chaturvida. They are adharma. So if one wants to advance, if one wants to get healthy, we are all diseased right now. Then we have to follow the doctor's prescription perfectly. Like sometimes my wife complains that, you like a lot of sweets, I have diabetes. So I tell her, oh, I will take tablet. No, but that is not the optimal solution. I have to stop sweets completely, and then the diabetes will go away with exercise and all. But I don't want to do exercise, and I don't want to stop eating sweets also. So similarly, we have this problem. Even within our devotees, once we have taken to the process, we don't take it very seriously. We have to take it very seriously. Then, just like a student who takes his studies very seriously will excel in class. Will get 100%, 99.9%. And there are some students who get 50%, 40%. Some students fail. So, do we want to be in that group where we can be excellent? Our doctors are excellent. What is the point of those doctors being excellent if the patients are bad? So, I hope I was able to satisfy your query, Prabhuji, and anybody who had the same kind of question in their mind. So, God is not bad. Krishna is not bad. Somebody says that you are Samadarshina. You are equal to everybody. Then why like this? Another question can arise. So, the answer to that is a teacher, when is correcting the paper, each mark is one question is 1 mark, there is 100 questions. So, if somebody has answered all 100 questions correctly, gets 100 marks. Another student has answered all 100 questions correctly, also gets 100 marks. That is sum up. But somebody who has answered 60 questions correctly, he gets 60 marks. Another student has also answered 60 questions correctly, he gets 60 marks. Somebody 30, 30. So that is Samadarshina. So one who Krishna is Samadarshan. Karma acts equally upon everyone, depending on what kind of karma it is. But if we take to devotion, then we have a special corner. Prahlad Maharaj says that. That then Krishna, even Arjun says this in this, we just read that. That because you are the friend of devotees, because you take, therefore I'm praying to you, please tell me, what is this unbelievable effulgence, this light, this heat, where is it coming from? It seems that I'm going to die. Krishna, please save me. So Krishna then saves Arjun. So this is the process. So kindly take to this. Our Prabhupada said that to make one devotee, it takes thousands of gallons of blood. So simply let's not, and that is what Mahaprabhu said that Bharat Bhumi de Manusya Janmo hoilo ja Jivan Sarthak kori karo paropkar Haman agya taro hi desh jare dekho tare kaho Krishna updesh. One who has taken birth in this land of Bharatvarsh or in India, in Bharat, especially Manushya Janma, most fortunate. Jivan Sarthak Kari, please take to this process of Krishna consciousness, make your life successful, and Karo Paropkar, give it to others. That is real Vaishnav. Vaishnav janto tene kahiye je pीड़ पराई जाने पर दुखे उपकार करे पर मन ना आवे अभिमान रे. Narsi Mehta, pure devotee, has composed this, and it was one of the favorite bhajans of Gandhiji. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Shri Prabhupada ki, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Such a wonderful class by His Grace Satchidananda Prabhu.
Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev.
So we should all definitely thank Prabhuji for the wonderful class. By once now we chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And I would like all of us to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for the entire audience who has patiently listened to this class and tolerated me. I will try my best, Prabhuji. One second. Uh, I cannot guarantee that because again, I'm becoming a little philosophical. One time, Yudhishthir Maharaj told somebody, "Tomorrow I will see you," and Bhimsen, yes, yes, and Bhimsen said his brother, he went with the big nagaras in the Hastinapur, damn, 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 and everybody gathered. What happened? What happened? He says, "My brother has conquered time." He said, "Tomorrow." But what is the guarantee we will be there tomorrow? Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you for your kindness. You are very kind. You invited me. And Prabhuji, you too. Thank you again. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhuji is from all the way from Canada, and he was on time. We were telling the beginning. So devotees who came late, we would like to reiterate that the class starts at 11:30, not at 12 o'clock. So please be on time. This is a humble request for every Sunday. Prabhuji said the importance of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. We should follow them. And devotees who are interested to continue hearing from Prabhuji, today evening he will give a class at 7:30 sharp. So 7 o'clock, please be assembled. Let's do the kirtan and welcome Prabhuji. आज का शाम का क्लास हिंदी में होगा. So devotees who have missed today morning's class, please be available in the evening. So wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
One second. No, no, no. What I was saying is one thing because he said something about time. What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Kalo Asmi. I am time. So if we don't take the time, time will take us out. Yes. Hearing is the first process. Like Prabhuji said, when you as a little child just starting to speak, what do the mother and father and the grandparents say? Bolo dada, bolo papa, bolo mummy. Through Shravan process, they learn how to speak. So through Shravan process is the first amongst the Navda Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc. So Shravanam is very important. Thank you for bringing up that good point, Prabhu.
Thank you. Okay, so Prabhuji started with Govardhan Lilamrita, the importance of hearing bhajans and kirtans, and he ended with doing Paropakar. So, wonderful month going on. Devotees have gone out to do book distribution everywhere. If you have not been able to participate, please do now. We have the wonderful opportunity. The temple is got all the books that you require. Please contact the DVD counter, and we have this wonderful opportunity to do for the book distribution on the 30th of December. This happens to be the Sri Vaishnava Vaikuntha Ekadashi. So all the temples are following. It's not our Ekadashi. Ours is falling on the 31st of December. So we can have great prasadam fees and continue to do book distribution. So if you have not nominated yourself, please reach out to us. Please reach out to your sadhans or your Siksha, Bhakti Vriksha leaders, and they will be able to guide you where are the book distribution is happening. So don't miss out this opportunity. At least one book each of us for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. That is how we can do. Please, Srila Prabhupada, once in a year, I think Prabhuji every day. Yes. Yes, all of us at least should take a commitment to do one book for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, thank you so much, Uncle Prabhu. Quickly finishing up the announcements. I think the ladies are waiting as well.